everybody. I'm back with another book review for you. This one is Carnival of Lies by D.V. Bishop, and this is number 5 in the Cesare Aldo series. Venice, 1539, when Aldo learns of a conspiracy to assassinate Duke Cosimo de' Medici, ruler of Florence, he's hired to help protect him. But after the attack fails, there's a twist. Someone used the distraction to steal the Duke's private journal full of incendiary political secrets that threaten the very fabric of society. Now Aldo must find it and get it back in time or face banishment. The trail leads to Venice, a city he swore never to return to, and the plot involves the beautiful and deadly Contessa Coltello. I'm really enjoying this series of books. They're often set in Florence, but some are like an away game book like this one. This is book 5 in the series, and this time it has more of a thriller or espionage plot, where most of the earlier ones were mysteries more, though the political is always part of the story because life in Italy in the era, basically. I think that you could read this as a standalone novel, though I do think it's more enjoyable if you've read the previous ones. Reading this, we get to spend more time with Contessa Coltello than we have before, who the author has said in his excellent newsletter about writing. If you're a writer or if you like this series, definitely subscribe to his newsletter. It's really interesting. The author has said that Contessa Coltello is inspired somewhat by Glenn Close in Dangerous Liaisons. So when I was reading this book, I kind of had that in mind, and I don't know, it kind of is great. She's appeared before as a scheming, beautiful woman who fences secrets and information as a spy master in Florence, with her ties in Venice. She's a bit of a foil to Aldo, who's sort of equal but opposite. She's equal to him in intelligence and cunning, but she's definitely more ruthless. And she's fun. She's vibrant and sexy, and she does not care. She loves danger and a beautiful outfit. I really enjoy her sparring with Aldo and their calculated exchanges. I think they're really fun. This being set in Venice, she's a familiar face, but we don't get to spend much time with our other usual cast of characters. There's a little bit at the beginning of Aldo and Saul, and I really love their romance at this point. I mean, I always did, but it's cool. There's something so honest about it, but also poignant and a little tragic, since they have to hide so much. It wasn't a time where you could be openly gay, which I guess is not news to anybody, but it just kind of, What we do get instead is a little more insight into Aldo's past, why he vowed never to return to Venice, a past lover and their story, and also some more about his childhood, and a family secret comes to light that's a wonderful little cliffhanger teaser at the end. There's also a new character, John of Scotland, who's a mercenary that knows Aldo from before, and it's just delightfully exotic to have him as an outsider in Italy. I really liked him. The author of these books actually lives in Scotland, so it kind of felt like, it's definitely not a self-insert, but I don't know, it just felt like a little, what would a Scottish person, how would they be perceived and received, and what would they be like, to an Italian of this time period, a Scottish person of the same time period. It was cool. I really liked that. I hope he appears again. He's cool. As a historical espionage thriller, this is really good. Very well-paced story. There's intrigue and adventure and twists and turns. There's the fact that Aldo can't swim and has a fear of water, which we didn't know about before, which is funny because he's such a tough, resilient person. But it's also dropped in this way where you're like, but he's in Venice. Like, this is great foreshadowing. The world of Venice is beautiful and so detailed and very historically accurate, and the delicate balance and court intrigues of the world at the time are fascinating. I always find that in every one of these books, just the kind of Machiavellian and sort of it all, I did find some of the plot points in the ending were, if I'm honest, are a little bit convenient for our hero. Not far-fetched exactly, but just a little too easy. It didn't spoil anything for me, and I think thrillers often have these little things, especially towards the end, because you want your hero of your story to get away and all that. So it's fine. I also love the mystery plots of this series. So while this one was really good and an adventure, it's not my favorite of the series as a whole, but it's a solid entry in the series and allows the Aldo stories to be flexible and not become something with a predictable format, which I think is really great about this series. None of them, they're all a little bit different. So, fans of the series, you'll like this one. It's great. Cesare Aldo is back. It's another solid entry. For fans of historical fiction or Italian history, you should already be reading this series, frankly. Yeah, I really like this one. And I know that there's a next one coming out, I think, this year at some point. So I'm already excited about that. Yeah, have you guys read this series? Do you love this time period in history? Do you love historical fiction? I'm really picky with historical fiction because I need it to understand the context of the time period, and I need it to be accurate. Or I need it to be the opposite and like intentionally not trying to be accurate, like knowingly not trying to be accurate. So this series is really, really good. It's very well researched, really brings the time period to life. So I love it. But what about you guys? Do you love historical fiction? Have you read this series? Tell me in the comments. And thank you for watching and hanging out with me again. And I will talk to you again soon.